The MAC-10 is a compact, blowback-operated machine pistol developed by Gordon B. Ingram in 1964. It is chambered in either 45 ACP or 9 mm. A two-stage suppressor by Sionics was designed for the MAC-10, which not only abated the noise created, but made it easier to control on full automatic. Design: the M10 was built predominantly from steel stampings. A notched cocking handle protrudes from the top of the receiver, and by turning the handle 90 degrees would lock the bolt, and act as an indicator that the weapon is unable to fire. The M10 has a telescoping bolt, which wraps around the barrel. This allows a more compact weapon, and balances the weight of the weapon over the pistol grip where the magazine is located. The M10 fires from an open bolt, and the light weight of the bolt results in a rapid rate of fire. In addition, this design incorporates a built-in feed ramp as part of the trigger guard, and to save on cost the magazine was recycled from the M3 grease gun. The barrel is threaded to accept a suppressor, which worked by reducing the discharge's sound, without attempting to reduce the velocity of the bullet. At the suggestion of the United States Army, it also acted as a foregrip to inhibit muzzle rise when fired. Ingram added a small bracket with a small strap beneath the muzzle to aid in controlling recoil during fully automatic fire. The original rate of fire for the M10 in .45 is approximately 1090 rpms. That of the M11/99 mm is approximately 1250 rpms, and that of the M11.380 is 1380 rpms. Suppressor: the primary reason for the original M10 finding recognition was its revolutionary sound suppressor designed by Mitchell Bell III of Sionics. This suppressor had a two-stage design, with the first stage being larger than the second. This uniquely shaped suppressor gave the MAC-10 a very distinctive look. It was also very quiet, to the point that the bolt could be heard cycling, along with the suppressed report of the weapon's discharge. However, only if subsonic rounds were used. The suppressor, when used with a Nomex cover, created a place to hold the firearm with the secondary hand, making it easier to control. During the 1970s, the United States placed restrictions on the exportation of suppressors, and a number of countries cancelled their orders of M10s as the effectiveness of the MAC-10 suppressor was one of its main selling points. This was one factor that led to the bankruptcy of Military Armament Corporation, another being the company's failure to recognize the private market. The original Sionics suppressor is 11.44 inches in length, 2.13 inches in overall diameter, and weighs 1.20 pounds. Nomenclature: the term MAC-10 is commonly used, but unofficial, parlance. Military Armament Corporation never used the nomenclature MAC-10 on any of its catalogs or sales literature, but because MAC-10 became so frequently used by Title II dealers, gun writers, and collectors, it became used more frequently than M10 to identify the gun. Calibers and variants: while the original M10 was available chambered for either .45 ACP or 9 mm, the M10 is part of a series of machine pistols, the others being the MAC-11 per meter 11A1 semi, which is a scaled-down version of the M10 chambered in .380 ACP, and the M11 9ths, which is a modified version of the M11 with a longer receiver chambered in 9 mm, later made by SWD, Leonard and Vulcan Armament. In the United States, machine guns are National Firearms Act items. As Military Armament Corporation was in bankruptcy, large number of incomplete sheet metal frame flats were given serial numbers then bought by a new company, RPB Industries. Some of the previously completed guns were stamped on the other side RPB, making a double stamp gun. RPB Industries made many open-bolt semi-automatic and submachine guns before the ATF seized roughly 200 open-bolt semi-autos during the drug wars of 1981. ATF insisted that all future semi-automatic versions were to be manufactured with a closed-bolt design, as the open-bolt semi-automatics were considered too easy to illegally convert to full automatic operation. Wayne Daniel, a former RPB machine operator, purchased much of their remaining inventory and formed SWD, designing a new weapon which was more balanced, available either fully or semi-automatic with his new ATF-approved closed-bolt design. There are several carbine versions of the M11-9 and Cobra and SWD manufactured a smaller version chambered in .380 ACP as a semi-automatic pistol called the M12. Accessories and aftermarket items. Large Manufacturing makes a variant, called MAC uppers. The company is based in Chandler, Arizona. The MAC upper can reduce the original rate of fire to about 600 RPMs and 700 RPMs. The upper adds a Picatinny optic rail, a side-cocking charging handle, and a faux rend. Large Manufacturing is currently marketing a drop-in .22 LR caliber conversion upper variant for the M11A and MAX-11. Alliance Armament is making slow-fire uppers that accept unmodified SWOMI 36-round stick magazines, 50-round coffin mags, and 71-round drum magazines. They also produce a 7.62x25 PPSH-41 compatible conversion for the upper, which based on the low cost and high power of the round, should become very popular, especially with subgun competitors. Besides Military Armament Corporation, MAC-10s and MAC-10 parts have been produced by PB Industries as well as Complete Guns. Another company was Leatherwood Texas MAC, Cobra Company Leonard, Jersey Arms Works, Masterpiece Arms, Section 5 Firearms and Vulcan. 1994 assault weapons ban in the U.S., due to its appearance and the reputation the open-bolt version gathered before the 1982 open-bolt ban, the semi-auto civilian version of the MAC-10, which operates differently than its military counterpart, became a target of the 1994 assault weapons ban. The ban enacted various requirements which defined an assault weapon. Not only was the MAC-10 named directly in the ban, it failed two of the requirements: 1. A semi-auto version of an automatic firearm, and 2. A manufactured weight of 50 ounces or more when the pistol is unloaded. The imposed weight limit was 50 ounces, which the MAC-10 exceeded with its weight of 100.16 ounces. Additionally, the firearm had a threaded barrel to allow installation of a suppressor, and the magazine capacity was 32 rounds. In response, Wayne Daniel redesigned the M11 to no longer accept the suppressor, and created a new magazine release that would only allow 10-round magazines as the 1994 assault weapons ban mandated. The new firearm was called the PM11/9. Foreign copies and derivatives, BXP. The BXP is 9mm submachine gun developed in the mid-1980s by the South African company Meckham and brought into production in 1984. Due to international arms embargoes of apartheid South Africa, the country was forced to design and manufacture their own weapons. The weapon was intended for use by security forces. The manufacturing rights shifted from hand to hand several times during the years, passing from Meckham to Milk Marketing and later to Travelo Armory, the current manufacturer. Cobra Carbine. The Cobra Carbine is a semi-automatic firearm of Rhodesian origin manufactured during the Bush War era as a self-defense weapon for farmers and is chambered for the parabellum round. The layout of this weapon is somewhat based on the Uzi submachine gun. Patria submachine gun. The Pistola Ametralladora Patria is a close copy of the MAC-10 and features a cooling jacket barrel extension much like the South African BXP. The PTO country was developed for the Major of the Air Force Argentina, Luis Ricardo da Avila, and protected by National Patent No. Degree 2204946/7 on 201980. It uses 9mm caliber rounds for easy transportation, and can be operated in either hand. Ingram SMG. The Ingram MSM-SMG was a submachine gun of Brazilian origin based on the Uzi and MAC-10 weapons. It was chambered in the 9x19 parabellum round and also came with a foregrip. Although the weapon performed well in trials, it was discontinued due to financial reasons. Users: a Bolivia, a Chile, a Colombia, a Dominican Republic, a Greece, a Guatemala, a Honduras, a Israel, a Poland, a Philippines, a Portugal, a Saudi Arabia, a Spain, used by various police forces. A United Kingdom, used by the SAS. A United States, was used by special forces, including LRRPs and Navy SEALs, in the Vietnam War. A Venezuela, See also, MAC-11, MCQ, MGP-15 submachine gun, MBA PM9, references. External links, Operating Manual, Ingram MAC-10 11th on enemyforces.com, MAC-10 and M11 on modern firearms, MAC-10 history lesson, the MAC-10 in film at the Internet Movie Firearms Database, Nazarian's Guns Recognition Guide MAC-10 silenced.